thank you for talking with me today. We're talking with actor-director Hannah Fierman. She is from VHS, Siren, and she did Creepshow and a lot of other projects. Tell us about your current projects that you're doing.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I just started doing this, I just got through doing this feature in April out in Seattle, which, it was incredibly beautiful. Springtime there is amazing. And I did this movie called Demonatrix, and I play a dominatrix who gets into a little trouble with some demon action, and the demon is played by Ogre from Skinny Puppy, and he did an amazing, it was amazing. That guy, his vocal range is insane, and he just loves getting into those kind of characters, and the special effects makeup was outstanding. I cannot for the life of me remember the guy's name that did it, but he was out of LA, and his assistants were one was local and one was out of LA as well. And this movie is worth seeing simply for that alone, but also it's a really good story too. It was directed by Jeff Farrell and co-directed by Aurelio Voltaire, and both of them also acted in it. And oh my gosh, I think they stole the show. They were like total characters. they really leaned into their quirky, outrageous characters. And so there's a lot of reasons to watch this movie, I guess, but it should be out next year. I know that the trailer is probably going to drop next month, and I'm really excited to see it. Jeff Farrell is also editing it, and he's a really speedy editor, so hopefully it'll be out in the early year. Yeah,
that's exciting. And then you have Dark Circles that you directed yourself.
Yeah, Dark Circles has been a long time in the making, but it should be done and out sometime next year. It's completely finished. I just have to assemble all of the parts and get them from everybody and make sure everybody's happy with it. But I just got to get my color from my colorist and just like get everything sent to my editor. Yeah, all the VFX. We had very few VFX, but we still got to get those in his hands, and post sound design.
Can you give us any details about what it's about, or kind of holding out on the?
I tell you, everybody knows it's about a peeping Tom. The original title was called "The Events Surrounding a Peeping Tom." Actually, the original title was "The Events Surrounding a Peeping Tom and the Horror That Followed."
Okay.
But now it's Dark Circles, and it's kind of an annoying story why we changed it. It was because they were doing a crowdfunder. Actually, it's the first crowdfunder that I've ever been a part of, and for some reason nobody was seeing it. It wasn't getting any love on social media, and it turns out that it was flagged as a sex crime, because of the peeping Tom aspect. So we changed the title, but by then it was a little bit too late. But we did raise some money. I'm never going to do that again. Crowdfunding is awful, but I do appreciate it just because we got this amazing project off the ground because of it. And I hope that whoever buys the movie, whoever distribution company that buys the movie, changes it back to The Events Surrounding Peeping Tom, because I just think it's a better title. There's no wondering what it's about. It's got this like old-timey 1950s kind of like the incredible shrinking man,
nice. Okay.
The Events Surrounding a Peeping Tom, I don't know. I really love that title, so I wish we could bring that back.
No, I like that. That's awesome. That's actually, probably is a better title because if I were looking, Dark Circle sounds like a more modern, something you would probably hear for a modern type of title, but then that does kind of draw you back. I feel like you're right to the callback to like The Invisible Man, or like, Creature from the Black Lagoon, or
it's like I'm gonna watch the Creature from the Black Lagoon, I know what I'm getting in, but the movie is about the peeping Tom named Martin Malone, who he's a habitual peeper, and he doesn't have great control over his impulses, and it gets him into some trouble, and then it gets him into a lot of trouble, and people start peeping on him. And
okay,
there's a lot of peeping, and it lent itself really well to some POV. And,
nice.
And basically, you're on the journey with Martin Malone. So it's an experience with my lead actor, Damien Maffei, and I think it's unique in that way. The only other movie that I can think of that might be similar in that aspect is Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon, where you sort of go along with Kevin, and you're like, Kevin Bacon's character, I mean, and you're like, is he losing his mind, or is this real, or is this, is this a dream, or is this a vision? Or is he hallucinating? That kind of thing. And, or is he just paranoid?
Right.
Yeah.
The rape scene that's in the movie.
I forgot about that scene. Yes.
And then he would turn, break off. And he's like, no, you can't watch that one. And I was like, why? And he was like, no.
He didn't want you to see it.
Yeah, he didn't want me to see it.
I've totally forgotten about that aspect of that movie. That was disturbing.
It really was. It was like the hardest thing. And then, of course, because he like kept it from me, I like sought it out as an adult to find out why. And then I realized that he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't want to see this, so you don't want to. So, what about people on set that you've worked with that you feel like you've had a lot of fun with, or do you have any kind of cool stories, like somebody that was really funny that you remember?
On Dark Circles, or
as a director?
Okay, yeah. Gosh, let me think. So, I always wanted to lean into the dark comedy aspect of this feature film, because not that it's not a comedy, but there's some really situational comedic situations within it that I was really drawn to. And Damien is also one of the producers. He's the lead actor, and he's also one of the producers, and he actually was the originator of the story as well. He didn't write the screenplay, but he came up with the concept. Anyway, he wanted me to direct it, and I was just like, yeah, it's kind of like a dark comedy. And he's just like, what? Did you read the script? What kind of movie are you making, Fierman? And I'm just like, well, it's funny, I mean, I'm not going to shoot it as funny, but it is kind of funny. He's like, no, you're not directing this movie anymore. And I'm just like, okay, it's not funny. And then we get on set, right, months later. More like a year later, and he is just so freaking funny in it, and I'm just like, Damien, I thought we weren't making a comedy. And he's just like, well, he said, what did he say? He was just like, well, I knew it was going to go in that direction at some point, so I was trying to fight against it. Anyway, I just think he's so funny, just a naturally funny person. And I'm really not telling the mood of the story very well, because it really is not a comedy. It really is not even a dark comedy, but there are some elements. But especially on set and behind the scenes, there was one day in particular, Damien was just like eating this salad, and he was talking to Damien's character was talking to his grandmother's character about how special this lady he had just met was, and it takes a special person to know when you're special. And he's eating the salad, and he's got these little bits of lettuce falling out of his mouth. And I just lost my shit. I just absolutely lost my mind. I could not stop laughing. I must have blown 6 takes.
Because you were laughing.
I couldn't look at him. I couldn't look at the monitor. I fired myself. I was just like, okay, I'm going to say action. I'm going to leave. I can't watch this without laughing. It was also like, I don't know, probably like the 16th hour, and I was punchy as all hell, but oh my gosh, so funny. And you can't even explain why it was that funny, really. It was just the salad in his face and the dialogue. And then there was a few other things that stood out as being pretty great. There was a scene where we're in this bar scene, and there was a whole bunch of extras there that day, and it wasn't a mistake, but it was kind of a mistake of having my AD as an actor in that scene.
Okay. And
so I didn't have an AD, and I had all these extras. So it was like, fuck, I need an AD, but he had to focus on acting. So this other guy named Marcus stepped in and really helped out a whole lot, but it was a very, very tricky day. And the extras were great. I mean, they were wonderful. And everybody was in a good mood, and it was this big party scene, so everybody's wearing like these Hawaiian shirts, and they've got these leis, and they've got these fake cocktails, and they're dancing, and at one point Martin's character is sick, and our special effects makeup artist had set up this projectile vomit rig, and we didn't have any time to rehearse it, so I knew that it was going to be I was going to let him. We were going to try it a couple of times, but no more than a couple of times. I wasn't going to spend all day on this barf and gag.
Right.
And so it didn't work, but it didn't work so epically.
That it worked?
No, it didn't. It did never. We cannot use any of the projectile takes now, because it kept looking like it was shooting out of his neck, and it was just blasting my AD in the face, and it was just so funny.
Oh my!
And so we had to clean it up as best we could, and then start all over, and then just have Damien just act it, just spitting it out, and that actually looked really real. And then he did it so realistically into my 80s face, which was played by Topher Hansen, and Topher slipped on the fake bar and landed on his ass, but he was holding this plastic margarita cup, and it broke and it cut his hand, and I felt so bad.
Oh no.
I know. So he had to AD the entire rest of the shoot with this big gash in his hand. It was awful. So it really wasn't funny in the end, but it was funny leading up to it.
Aw.
Tragedy.
Well, it's always interesting though to hear little weird bits of things that happen behind the scenes, I think, anyway. Did you have a favorite part of the whole process?
Yes, my favorite part of the entire process was working with Alexander Taylor on the score. And I was so intimidated, because I don't speak musician.
That's fair.
Yeah, and he's so talented, and I was so intimidated. And but I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I had so much fun collaborating with him. And he just understood what I was saying. I would say the most outrageous shit to him, and he would just absolutely, completely understand, and then take it and fix it and make it better. And he would be like, oh, you know what? I like this better. And that made me feel yeah, maybe I'm doing this okay. And so I would be I would say, okay, when this Band-Aid peels off and there's this, this wound, this festering wound, I want to hear that stank.
I love it.
He's just okay. Just saying crazy shit like that. And he's oh, okay, yeah, and I want it to be thrumming. I want to be throbbing, pulsating. And
nice.
You can hear the blood and, white and red blood cells just going to that area. Just crazy shit like that. He was just oh, yeah, right on, let's do this. So the score was...
Love it. Awesome.
Yeah, he was spectacular. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the score.
How many songs did it end up having, or separate pieces?
He did the whole score, and then we have one song by Michelle Dubois in the bar scene, and then I think we have two songs by Michelle, but I can't remember where the other one went right off the top of my head. And then at the very end, there's a song, and I am blanking on the artist, but those three songs were not written by Alexander, but the entire score was.
Was there anything that you wanted to do with the movie, or a song that you wanted to get, or something that you weren't able to do?
Oh yeah, there was a fuckload that I wasn't able to do. We had a very limited budget, and there was no rehearsal, like I said. It was just run and gun, absolutely. So a few of my favorite ideas just didn't even happen from the very, very jump. Which is okay, because you've got to be flexible, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie,
Right.
And so yeah, there was a few songs that I preferred. And it was a really long process for the very last song, the ending song. It had to be really specific. And so Ryan, Damien, and myself, Ryan James is one of the producers, and like I said, Damien and myself. So we were all just we must have listened to 1,000 songs. And then we finally landed on this one that I can't remember the name of, but it's perfect. So Damien was able to contact them, and they gave us a deal. Like they let us use it for $1,000, which, you know, was, after all that work, we were absolutely willing to pay.
Right.
And yeah. So I think that was my favorite part, was the score.
Nice. And when is the project due to come out?
It's supposed to be out sometime next year. Like I said, it's almost completely done. We just need to get all the pieces assembled with my editor, and then we got to take it to market. You know, that'll take a while. But yeah, it's soon to be out into the world, which is a miracle.
Nice. So what's next for you, or what can we expect to see from you in the future?
Well, Demonatrix, that should be out next year. And did I say the trailer is going to be out next month?
I don't remember, but I know I wanted to ask you about working with Justin Long and kind of so he's doing a remake of VHS, or how does that work? Or?
Oh, him and his brother. So I worked with Justin Long in Creepshow, season 2, and then just a few, I guess it was a few months ago, he was announced as being one of the directors for VHS Beyond, which is just another one of the franchise, and it has nothing to do with my segment of VHS, which was the first one of the very first of the franchise. But yeah, they're all in the same franchise. They just don't have a theme, except for that they're horror anthologies and that they're gratuitous.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Well, what was it like working with him then? Do you feel like that was like do you have any fun memories from that, or like any cool stories?
Yeah, it was amazing working with him. Him and Darcy Camden and Greg Nicotero, I mean, like, probably the 3 nicest people ever in the history of mankind. Like, so positive, so much fun, just like, it was all jokes and laughs, and just really, really kind, charming people. I don't even remember the last time I had that much fun filming anything. It was just such positive energy.
And for a Creepshow, that was because that's part of the television series, or is it Netflix? What does it play on now?
Shudder. It's
Shudder,
Shudder, and all the AMC platforms.
Okay. And do you feel like doing stuff for TV was like a lot different than working in movies?
Yeah, it is. It's generally a little faster paced. But not always, but most of the time I found it to be the case. And I think, it's just like a faster turnaround. There's less rehearsal. It's just sort of just like, okay, come on, do your job, and then go home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want people to know about your career, or about you, or what you're doing?
Well, you know what? I'm delighted to be taking a break right now. Honestly,
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have another feature film to do until late October. I'm going to be working on a couple of music videos here next month, but I'm not acting in them.
Well, you're directing music videos.
Yeah, I'm going to direct one, and I'm producing another 2, and as far as I know, I'm not cast in any of them yet. That doesn't mean I won't end up in them, but that stuff's fun to me. That's like almost not working. Like, it's so much fun. Mm-hmm. So my next like full on job is not gonna be until like late October. So I'm just gonna enjoy this amazing weather and just like, I don't know, take some deep breaths.
The Indiana weather.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
I love it.
Is this going to be your first fall here?
No, it's my second. It's different. It's different than the fall in Georgia, where there's just so many trees. It's a little different out here, and it comes a little bit earlier. It also doesn't seem as harsh, but maybe that's not true. I don't know.
Maybe it's just like an adjustment or difference from like down where you're used to too, because I feel like fall didn't used to start till September, like, and honestly it technically doesn't, but like I feel like here in August it's fall. After a certain like point in August, it just starts to like drop off like it is today, and the weather's beautiful.
So nice.
Go down to Brown County though for the trees, girl. That's where all the pretty trees are.
Is that what you do? Okay.
Oh, definitely. It's like 40 minutes south of where we're at right now, and we can go down there. They have little shops, and like Trolley's barbecue is delicious. And it's like a little walk up. And,
let's go.
dude, look, let's plan a day.
I want to go.
Let's do it. I bet you Nikki would be down too.
You know what else I want to do is there's a lot of hot air balloon festivals around here.
I've never been in one. I would
never
love to.
want to go. I
Let's
really
do
want to
it.
go. Oh my gosh, yes, let's totally go.
Oh my god, let's totally do it.
I'm gonna dress up. It's
Yeah?
gonna be a thing. Let's take some pictures.
I want to have a party too at some point soon, a themed party at iconic 80s, and do like 80s icon.
That'd be
Everybody dress
great.
up as different ones.
That'd be awesome.
I want to do Cyndi Lauper, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Put my orange hair back for the day.
Perfect.
It'll be nice. No time to talk with me today.
Of course, anytime. You know what? I just genuinely like your company. So it was just a good excuse to hang out.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna be having to bring you back and check in with you sometimes, and you can update us on all the cool stuff you're doing.
All right, we'll do.